construction for the building is more or less divided into 4 phases. The first phase is about the safety and the accessibility of the building. It's really getting the building back to square one. Taking a historic building and bringing it to modern codes and making sure that it serves the modern needs of the building. When we get into phase 2, we're looking at the common areas of the building, making sure that it's ready for businesses to come in. So these are the common bathrooms, all the common areas that don't belong within a store, and making sure that we're ready to be a thriving mini mall with all the amenities of a mini mall. Phase 3 is really supporting the place-making aspects of the building. And by placemaking, I mean how the building, the neighborhood, the areas around the building will be used by the community, really focusing in on the grassroots efforts to build from within the community. And then phase 4 is everything that we didn't expect to happen. So this building has been part of the community since the late 1800s. It certainly has seen some decline in recent years, especially since 787 and the plaza went in. You saw this neighborhood kind of start to decline. So what you see is a building here that is beautiful. It's been part of this community for a long time, but it's not up to code, it's not safe, it's not accessible, and a lot of these buildings around here have that issue. This money, the Empire State Development and ARPA funding come together to help us get the building to a point where it's safe, accessible, and ready for use by the community. It will more specifically fund the elevator, a sprinkler system, all sorts of upgrades to make this building safe to walk around in.
Community Investment Trust is very important, not only to the South End, but also to the Capital Region and across New York State. Low-income census tract areas are straight through the state of New York, as we have this issue around the country. Poverty rate and cyclical poverty rates are generational. The Community Investment Trust helps alleviate that. What we're able to do is offer wealth building. We are able to offer community ownership of a building in a low-income census tract area. And what this does is it allows people in the community to build wealth through ownership, but also the local economy improves because people are doing business in these shops and there are more hiring opportunities. It's just a way of, instead of looking at businesses one at a time to finance one business at a time, we're financing and helping an entire neighborhood. Systemic racism and structural racism continue to be a problem. When we look at poverty rates and we look at things like coming out of COVID, relief funding, how disproportionately that money was distributed in areas of poverty. And that is an example of structural racism. So we fight systemic and structural racism and have done so for 39 years. We're coming up on our 39th anniversary. And we do that by providing loans to BIPOC and women-owned entrepreneurs. We make loans to nonprofit organizations that service low-income census tract areas, and we finance things like affordable housing and community facilities. So Community Investment Trust is particularly important because it allows people in low-income census tract areas or who have been through generational poverty to start to step out of that poverty cycle and that systemic and structural racism, because they are wealth building, they are gaining a lot of community stabilizing factors, such as local economics are improving with money staying in the communities. The property values are increasing because businesses are flourishing and real estate is not vacant, it has active life in it. Education rates graduation rates are increasing in these communities because families are more stable and staying in the communities where they have an investment. So we continue to work towards solving systemic and structural racism.